Today we are really having a good time that there is escalation in the war between Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine attack Russians oil facilities and other infrastructures because Ukraine is very capable with the drones technology and is really threatening Russians. And Russia also used hypersonic missile to attack Kiev and Ukraine. The war is escalated and it is going really in a very destructive mood now. But unfortunately, the main guy who was really hoping that he will become the president of the United States, and the war he was boasting and bragging there in the United States before he became president that in 24 hours he will close this war, he said. No problem, he will finish this war within 24 hours. It's just nothing at all matter to him. But then it's now more than a year now. He is in Oval Office, Mr. President Trump, and the war is still continuing, killing people on both sides, in Russia and in Ukraine. It's regardless who started this war. The European Union, the people here, they think the Russians attack on Ukraine, but I disagree with that claim. There was an agreement between Ukraine and Russia. That's called Minsk Agreement. Minsk is the capital of Belarus. And in Minsk they say that they have agreement, and Mr. Zelensky, he was a CIA man. He was elected as a CIA person. When he became president in 2019, and after that he came out from that Minsk Agreement and Russia invaded Ukraine. That was the war, and now the Russians, they have 20% area of Ukraine occupied by the Russian forces. Mr. Zelensky is now, he is playing around in world's capital, and he is a leader of Ukraine, president, and he is the guy who is really, enhancing and advancing with this war. But there is a very speculation, and people are really tired from this war which is continued there. Now Iran attacked by the major superpower of the world, the local superpower, the Middle Eastern superpower, Israel, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain. They were all on one side, the American. They went to war against Iran, and Iran, he fought them back and survived. The regime survived. And that regime is now really fully controlled. The RIGC, they are controlling now everything, and things are very different now. The same Mr. Donald Trump is begging for the deal. The Iranians offer everything before the war, but they were telling them that, look, this is the way and the talk of the Americans always. Hey, all options are on the table. The military strike will be coming soon. If you don't do this, the military strike will come. If you will do this, military strike will come. And Iran was really afraid. The mullah who died, this Khamenei, he was really afraid from America, and he couldn't confront Americans. Last 30, 40 years, he was just saber-rattling. But then, finally they killed him, hoping that the regime will change in Tehran. And then there will be a Israeli puppet sitting in Tehran, Ali Reza Pahlavi, the king's Pahlavi's son. And now things will go in a good way. Oil will be coming to Americans and to Israelis, and things will be smoothly. And then there is a next target for Israel is Turkey, or perhaps Pakistan. Israel is a great state of Israel, but that doesn't happen. That was really set back. Iran fight back, and after this destruction, and now there is no way for these superpowers. And from that, Russians, they were also survived from the Europeans and American onslaught, Trump came into power, he saved Putin. When he came, he helped Putin. So now Russians, Chinese and Iranians, they were hated by European Union, by NATO, by America, by Israel, but now things has been changed. Trump was begging, he's really in a begging mood to China, and then he was really there, and with Mr. Xi, the president of China, he was really in a begging mood and flattering him and giving him a false flattery, and really he was acting like a I don't have a word for this, that how the way this man was acting there. Unbelievable, unimaginable. Before he was putting a tariff on China and all these things. And this is the reason I am saying that now the Russians, they are emboldened. They think that European can do things to them. NATO is failure completely because Trump has, destroyed really completely this NATO. And then, this Russians, they're thinking now that they have upper hand, and they are now firing the missiles to Ukraine, and they are doing what they like. Because the Europe is completely failed. Now Europeans are crying, the leader of Europe is crying, the Estonia, Belgium, their head of states are crying, the other countries that, hey look, we have to talk with Mr. Putin. Before, they were not listening to anybody. They were thinking that they will occupy Moscow and they will, they will arrest Putin and bring him to Hague in a war crime, story they were building. But now they want to say Putin, they want to talk with him. And really it is very unfortunate now that still people are dying, people are being killed there in Ukraine and in Russia, both sides. And believe me, things are going in a favor of China and Russia and Iran now. And they are beaten very badly. The Europeans, they are beaten very badly. And the NATO, American, they have nothing left in their hand. Iran took the upper hand after this 20,000 strike which they have over their facilities, destroyed completely. The regime is on the verge of collapse in Iran, but still they have really done the job against the Americans and the Israelis and the other Arab country which were the allies of the West. And really the Americans, they destroy their own allies, and those all facilities and our military installments which are really serving the interest of Israelis and Americans in Middle East has to be maybe moved away from there. That's what Iranians are demanding for. But still, things are going in the way that there is nobody going to come and stop this war. But I hope that Pakistan played a very good role in this, and we were hoping really that Pakistan always played a good part, a bad part in a war. War always come through Pakistan, but thanks God that we're thanking really God Almighty that this time Pakistan didn't go in that war scenario helping other country, but it goes there for peace and stability in the region and with Iran and with other countries. But really the diplomacy for Pakistan is good this time, and I hope Pakistan should step up and also make peace between Ukraine and Russia, because Mr. Donald Trump has been failed very badly. He couldn't help, really he couldn't help to war to be stopped. So Zelensky is getting good money and it's coming from everywhere. 90 billion just European Union has given to Zelensky, and the corrupt elite in Ukraine is eating that money in a good way, and money is really flooding there from all over the world, and the war is continue because of this money which going from the European state and other country. So I'm very happy to really want to talk to Mr. Zelensky that you have a good money from everywhere. The elite, the corrupt elite of Ukraine buying villas and buying properties in America, in Paris, in Vienna, in France, somewhere, you name it. And just, the closest ally, Mr. Zelensky, they are facing really, now the criminal charges that the money they have siphoned off from Ukraine. Russians, they are also very good, in corruption, no doubt about that. But I think the Ukrainian elite have looted the money. They have got upper hand now. The war is continuing. Money is continuing to flow in Ukraine. Every country in Europe want to give them which they have, that they could defeat Putin, but I don't think so that is going to happen. So thanks for watching me. Next time we will talk on these all topic with the detail and with the facilities. So until then, take care.